healthy home investigation. Now, how many of you have one of these? Or have a filter on your fridge or your sink? Or maybe even have an expensive setup like this, right? That filters your whole home. No matter the shape, the size, or the cost, the goal's the same. You want to make your drinking water safe. But we're about to tell you which ones are worth your money. But first, let's take a look at how water filters work, because they have slightly different mechanisms of action. But here's the general idea. So start off with, the water. When the water's coming out, depending on where you live, it can contain some dirt or some pesticides. It can have a little bit of lead. Other contaminants can get in there. As the water passes through the filter, which can be a very simple thing like this little mechanical filter, it's like a sieve. It traps the dirt or large contaminants. Or it can be a larger activated carbon filter like this. And that actually gets molecules like pesticides out of there. Or an ion exchange. These little beads, right, they attract heavy metals like lead out of your water. And what you're left with, ideally, is cleaner, contaminant-free, fresher-tasting water. That's the goal. Now, the good news is the biggest water filters on the market have been tested. Executive editor of the Good Housekeeping magazine, Megan Murphy, is here to reveal what they found. Welcome, Megan. So, what I love about the Good Housekeeping Lab, and I've actually been up there, it's just like it's top secret, it's in a vault, right? How do you perform these tests? Because they're really quite intricate.
So what we did, we partnered with the University of Lab, and we spiked the water with 15 different contaminants.
You spiked the water?
We spiked the water with 15 different contaminants of concern. Everything from hormones to, antidepressants. And then we simulated that filter process over weeks and months, pouring gallons and gallons of water through those filters, and then testing it at 4 different stages to see if, the performance fell off.
So what did you find? Let's go one by one. So the most common ones, I guess, are the carafe filters.
So the carafes, right? And a lot of us have these, and most of the carafes work with that single carbon or charcoal filter. So that's going to absorb some of that junk. That's fine, and that's going to improve the taste of your water. But if you really want to remove those contaminants, you want a water pitcher that does all 3 of the things you talked about.
I didn't know that carafe filters did that.
Some of them do. Some of them do. Your basics only use one process. You want one that uses all 3.
Now, what about these faucet filters, which I see becoming pretty popular?
So the faucet filters work very much the same. You want to look for one that has all 3 functions, just like we talked about. The difference is really preference, so something to think about.
So you've seen this before, the carafe. How about the refrigerator ones? Those are the ones that I'm sort of curious about. You don't know what's going on behind the fridge, but I know it's got to make ice and it's got to give you water.
Well, and here's the deal. In the Good Housekeeping testing, we found that these refrigerator filters were the best. And that's really the best, your best defense. Some of these even filtered out pharmaceuticals. So, but here's the deal. I want to ask the audience, how many people actually change those refrigerator filters often? See, not a lot of hands.
A lot of heads like this. This is what I'm seeing.
Okay, and so here's the deal. A dirty filter isn't going to filter out dirt, right? These things need to be changed every 3 to 6 months. And that depends on your water quality. This is something of note, though. When you're replacing that filter, it's the one thing you want to stay on brand. You don't want to look for the bargain. Whatever the manufacturer recommends, that's the filter you need.
And how about these expensive reverse osmosis devices? These are for the whole home. You shower in this water.
These systems, keyword is expensive. So you need to know if you really need one first. You want to evaluate your water. Municipalities are obligated to regularly check your water and report their findings to the EPA. So what you do is you go on the EPA website, you type in your zip code, and they're going to give you a report of your water. This updates every July. You can go on any time and find out if this is something you need.
All right, up next, we're going with somewhere we've never gone before, inside Good Housekeeping's vacuum lab to help you pick the best one with these guys over here. The experiment continues. Stay with us. You got to pick the best one. Next, what makes a vacuum top of the line?
Very easy.
Look at that.
We have your buyer's checklist for choosing the best one.
That's going to get more of that dirt up.
Plus, a non-negotiable shopper's tip for allergy sufferers.
And specifically look for that term.
Our Healthy Home Investigation continues with Good Housekeeping's Megan Murphy. And now, is your vacuum cleaner keeping you sick? A good vacuum can reduce the dust that you inhale, reduces your family's risks of asthma and allergies, all that bad stuff, but they're not all created equal. So we're going to put them to the test, but we're going to start first with Mike Holmes. He is backstage with a robotic vacuum. I want to see if he can clean up that big mess that represents the dust, the dirt, the dander, all the stuff. It's a messy home you live in, Mike. Oh, yeah, don't work too hard back there, buddy. Look at him. We had a dirt cam. We'll be watching his dirt cam. Look at him. How do you keep those muscles so big with using that robotic vacuum cleaner? It's an inspiring effort, Mike. We'll come back to you. Look at him. He refuses even to talk to me. He's so tied up. All right, at Good Housekeeping, you have a lab that focuses on these kinds of things. Now, I'm always amazed at how you come up with the protocols, the actual experiment, the machine for testing.
There's industry standards, and we follow that type of protocol, but we do have an entire lab dedicated to vacuum testing.
So walk me through it. It's unbelievable.
So in the Institute, we weigh the canister or the empty bag. Then we make this dirt mixture. It's sand and talc. We weigh it, and then we sprinkle it on the carpet, and we really get it in there. This machine passes over the carpet 30 times, really embedding that dirt.
It's like a mechanized kid.
Yes, and then the vacuum passes 16 times precisely, and we weigh it again to see how effective it was. We repeat that process 3 times.
It's unbelievable.
It's pretty incredible.
The number of times you have to stop. So you have action steps for consumers to pick the right vacuum.
Exactly.
And these aren't all expensive issues to do, but you got to do them right. The first is you want us to pick a vacuum that has HEPA filters.
So you want a HEPA filter, and these are becoming more standard in vacuums, and it stands for high efficiency particulate air. And these filters are going to filter out 99.7% of those microscopic particles, so the mold spores, the dander, the pollen, instead of pushing it back into the air. So you want this in your vacuum. This is also something you gotta be diligent about.
All right, now you have another trick that's important. You want us to have a vacuum that is particularly good at getting rid of our allergies because it's all contained. Is that, what's the word?
So it's called a sealed system. So when you're shopping for a vacuum and you have any type of allergies, this is a non-negotiable. And that just means there's no cracks and crannies along the suction line where those particles are shooting back into the air. And this has the Good Housekeeping seal, and it specifically says on it, do you see that right there? Smart Seal. Yeah. So when you're shopping, look on the package or go to the manufacturer website and specifically look for that term, sealed system.
Now, I've never seen a grown woman fall in love with a vacuum like Megan.
I love vanilla.
This vacuum, which is just something that she completely adores.
Well, this really truly is the gold standard of vacuums. This went through all of the paces in that rigorous testing and earned the Good Housekeeping seal. So we really stand behind this vacuum. Now, when you're shopping for a vacuum, the things you're thinking about are suction. I've got 3 kids, so suction is very important to me. And no matter what, when you're shopping for a vacuum, few key things. You want a rotating brush, not just straight suction. That's going to get more of that dirt up. And then you want a vacuum with these special settings, and you want to use them. This adjusts the brush height for best suction. So is it a low pile, a deep pile? Yeah. Are you working on a smooth surface? Pay attention to that and use this dial specifically to adjust the brush.
So here's a question for you, Megan, Miss Good Housekeeping. Would you rather have Mike Holmes with a robotic vacuum in your house or this vacuum?
Well,
Wait, before you answer, Mike, are you back there?
I'm back here.
Yeah, so you need to prove yourself, Mike. You got a big competitor here. Come on, get back to work. Is that the best you can do? Well, it's sort of sexy the way he does that.
Well, and I will say, these robotic vacuums...
It's like Mr. Clean like this. He's with the hands up like this. So what do you think? Mike Holmes with the robotic or this one?
Well, the robotic vacuums did test very well in the Institute. The key with the robotic vacuums is I have multi-floors in my home, so it's not a great bet for me because how's it getting up the stairs? But if you have a ranch or in an apartment you have one single floor, they really are effective.
Well, let's put him to the test, all right? So you got Mike back there. He's spread all kinds of work. And let's say... I'll be one of your 3 kids, right?
Okay,
and so,
yes. So if you really want to be on my house, then you got to crunch them in a little bit, right?
Okay. We crunch these in. I need a volunteer from the audience. Come on down, ma'am. We got a victim in the front row here. What's your name?
Josephine.
Josephine, how are you? The bearers is.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
But here's Megan. You got the vacuum here. Let me just put this over here. So, you have to judge. And now I'm going to go back and talk to Mike when you're done to see which is actually better. All right, so walk us through this.
And first things first. So look, we have a low pile carpet. It's not a thick shag.
I'm just going to sit here.
So we're on the right setting, low pile, right?
Okay.
So now you're going to use the vacuum.
By the way, men, start doing this at home. This is great foreplay.
Okay.
I'm telling you, women want us to help. I actually chip in once in a while with the vacuums.
Yes.
Oh, very easy.
Look at that.
Very.
Oh, that's
not
fast.
Myself.
Right?
Even the kids can do it. Even my husband can do it.
You like it?
Yes, I love it.
That's really unbelievable. You know, let me try this. You dance. It's vacuum aerobics. You happy with this?
Yes, I am.
All right, so you stay here,
Okay.
keep making company. I'm gonna go back and check
Okay.
on Mike Holmes. We have to figure out which is the vacuum we should all be getting. I am impressed by this. And I'm gonna re-emphasize this. This is a good way to get your men to work, because even we can vacuum. We know how to do it, just follow the lines. Okay, let's come back here to Mike, see how he's vacuuming. Mike, my friend, your robot's almost done the floor.
Well, not quite. It seems to be a little stuck on the curb here.
What happened?
It should come off it.
You gotta help a little bit, Mike,
Well,
please.
you're not supposed to
I
help
know,
a
but-
robotic vacuum.
It's stuck again. What do you think overall? You impressed or not?
You know, this is a really expensive toy. That's what I'm going to call it. It's great if you're going to sit with your beer on the couch, your remote control, and watch the football game. But right now, it is jamming itself. And I don't know if it's because it's the popcorn is getting stuck in there. You can see it's cleaned the floor relatively well. However, I could have vacuumed this 10 times already.
All right. Up next, the best chemical-free cleaning hacks you're going to want to try today. But first, check out this viewer video of what happens when a robotic vacuum like this meets that particularly, well, vocal member of the family.